Hey YouTube, yeah, so putting some upgrades into this chibson soldering iron on. This chibson here, an Explorer. I might show you, it's like, quite like the way that that's actually just a sticker that looks like it'll just peel off. So yeah, this is getting rewired. We go into the volume controls before it goes to the pickup switch, so if I just start by taking these off. What a way to start. Where is my, I don't know, brute force? There you go. Pull them off. I do have a plastic door card removers for taking shit out of a car, which is actually quite good for doing this sort of thing. Just gives you like sort of non-scratchy type thing, and you just work your way around it to using this thing. This isn't the best one, it's just the one I keep finding. The way it always goes, like when you've got picks, you can never find the one that's the size that you actually want. You've always got thick picks and thin picks. Yeah, so I'm doing this sort of in a sort of logical manner. I'm basically just gonna talk you through. I mean, basically it's one of those things that, for this one specifically, because there's something not quite right with the controls. I don't think there's anything wrong with the pickups, but it's worthwhile knowing how to do this. Very basic. How a guitar works type thing. So you just get two volumes and a tone. Pretty easy. Now this chap wants the volume and the tone switched round the opposite ways. I'm going to do it the way he's asked for, and then I'm going to phone him and check that that's the way he wanted it, because once it's all connected up, there's only one wire to swap over that goes to each one of these, which will change which order they go in. So I'm basically just going to take all these wires off and start completely from scratch, because I know what I'm doing. I know that's a dangerous thing to say. Use this one of these, which are great fun, just dead easy to. I still prefer using sockets though, ideally, but that's not as well. Actually, didn't need to use a socket there at all. These things you can get them on Timo. It's like £1.50 or something like that. It's basically a all size fits all. You never use that, but all size fits all. Basically, I would like this exact tool, but with a crosshead, a Phillips head screwdriver on this end, which would basically give you your entire guitar kit in one wee go. Right, I'm going to keep these separate so I know that these are the chibson ones. I will use them again. They're a wee bit, I mean, they didn't seem that bad. They're a little bit stiff, but that might just be a case of because they're new and never been used. As I said earlier, these are the big size pots. See? Big pots. So we're going with I'm just going to take this to bits and then worry about it once I've done it, because I've done it that many times it doesn't really matter. So there's the tone. Let's just ditch that tone immediately. So we're just going to remember that the yellow comes from this switch, doesn't it? Let's just try and work out what's going on. There's the output. Yeah, so this is me taking off the output jack. Not been very well soldered actually, considering it's meant to be factory. So there you go. So there's your output jack being the black and the red coming off the tone pot, which is fine. I can do it that way. So there you go. Output. Can I move that closer to me? Yeah. So output, right? So this is the tone control thing. I think this must come from the switch, because it's not, because obviously it's a master tone. In fact, the tone didn't work because look, or maybe I just took that off when I took off the other wire. Actually, I don't actually have fancier pots. See, it just says A500 on it. Just like that. See, so much easier than your CTS sitting looking up some stupid serial number trying to make sense of it. I'll just take these wires off. They're all coming out anyway. Everything's coming out because the pickups are going out. So if this had been just a straight swap over, I would possibly just have taken off one wire at a time and swapped them over individually. But since I'm taking the pickups out anyway, I wonder if they've got extra wires in them, the pickups. I haven't looked. Not that I think an Explorer. You get guitars that are, you know, I love coil splits and such things. Kind of depends on what guitar it is. I've never put coil splits into my SG because it's like, you want a single coil SG? If you want a single coil, don't play an SG kind of look, obviously it would make it more useful, whereas other guitars I've got no problem with having fancy switches in. I'm not sure I would want them in an Explorer. If you've got an Explorer, you want it to sound like an Explorer, I would have thought. Which ain't going to do if it's got single coils in it. Yeah. So 3 chibson pots. I'm just going to put the things back on them so I can keep them. But I mean, I'll don't worry, I'll use them in one of my guitars. Unless the guy wants them back. I'll tell him they're shite so he doesn't want them back. There was definitely something wrong with that volume control, or both volume controls, or something. I wonder if it was, I hope it wasn't the switch, because the switch is about the only thing that's electrical that's staying in this. The switch and the jack socket are staying original. So really it's just a case of taking off the strings and getting those pickups out and swapping over for the Tesla Shark it's called. So it's just, see, I'm gonna try and do it without taking the strings off completely, just because I'm a lazy bastard. So basically when I'm taking them off, I'm going to try and leave enough on. Another reason why I don't like locking tuners, so I can loosen that down to, you know, there where it's off. I can get at the pickups, but it's not actually, the string hasn't come off and tangled itself to all the ones next to it. You don't need to release them that much, as long as you've got enough to actually get at them. And you should always do the light ones first, because so they don't go under extreme tension when you take off the tension of the big ones. But yeah, just kind of that amount. And now we're going to find how pickup sizes are all different. They don't actually fit in this guitar. Maybe. Kind of, I always go in and tempted to polish the frets and clean the fretboards and this, but this thing's brand new, so I'm not going to bother doing it with this one. Everything's pretty clean. Right, let's take these pickups out. So I'm assuming that the wire from this pickup goes into this cavity, so I'm going to take this one out first. I do love this wee screwdriver. I saw one, what was the place I'd never been to? The Range or something like that. It's called, kind of like a Home Bargains B&Q type place. Went to yesterday with Jen, and they had this exact screwdriver, but it was orange. This is a Work Zone, so I think that's Aldi's home make. But they had one that was the same, and it's such a hat. I like, it's got like a mag, in fact, basically it's a mag torch in it. Is it a mag it's called? That's what it looks like. I think I've even got a blue mag torch. Like a wee keyring one. Which is one of those things I always thought, having a wee torch in my keyring will be great, but now you've got your phone. I mean, what did you remember the days when you didn't have a torch on you at all times? Oh, it's not? Okay, so it just comes straight out. Why does it not want to come straight out? Because it goes to the switch, does it? I don't see any blue wires in here. So this blue wire must go to the switch. That can't be right. There you go. It's a Korean pickup. It's not even a cheap one. Right. So where does that blue wire go then? Have I already? The fun of building guitars, even though I know exactly what it should do, it's just not doing it anymore, is it? I'm just wondering. I saw no blue. It can't go to the... Oh, I see what's happened. I think that wire there must be the one coming from the bridge, and I've managed to pull it inside the guitar, which it doesn't want to be. This wants to be on its own. And I'm assuming it's joined onto the blue one. Yeah, see? There's the blue wire there. So basically it was just because they were both soldered to the back of the pot, they're still joined. So that's the earth wire coming from the bridge. I was sitting there thinking, what the hell's going on? Something's going mental. But yeah, that red wire there comes out its own wee hole coming from the bridge. That's quite common. So what happened was that was both of these get soldered to the back of the pot, but the two of them were still joined together. When I was trying to pull it through, I actually pulled that into the guitar. So now the pickup is no longer in the guitar. There, blue. And then I'm assuming this is going to have a red wire on it because it's quite common. It's the red neck, same as it's red right. I don't know. That's how I always wire it anyway if I've got a choice. But I don't know. No idea what the Teslas are going to be like, or the iron gears are going to be like. actually quite like doing this. I've got another guitar I've got to do this afternoon as well, a Gibson Les Paul, but I'm not really 100% sure what's wrong with that. This one, there's nothing wrong. What's wrong with it is the pickups aren't the ones that the guy wants and the pots aren't the ones the guy wants, so that's... Do those two things and then worry about whether there's something else wrong with it later on. But I don't think there doesn't appear to be anything else. It's always a good idea to... But, okay, I did it to test to see what the difference in sound was going to be between the two pickups, but in reality it was more... just to make sure there was nothing else wrong. This one doesn't say Made in Korea on it. Did that one actually say B in the back? It did. So I don't know why the bridge pickup is Korean and the neck pickup isn't mentioned, but they are not. Right, so get rid of this for just now. I'm now going to transfer the new pickups into their case. Oh, need to... It's been cryogenically sealed. Well, it's got a bit of sellotape on it. Oh, that pick's that's a heavy beast of a pick. Look at it. Yeah. I don't really want that. Now I think these pickups go. We've got the and your Tesla Shark. Oh, it does have extra wires. So I mean, possibilities of putting and it'll, actually, because it will come with an instruction sheet, it will tell you which is hot and which is not. So there's your two coil splitting wires, and this one is green and white, not red and white. Green and white. So red is probably hot and black is probably earth. So black and the shield go together and get sold onto the back of the pot. That's your hot output. And then them you just ignore it unless you're doing some sort of coil splitty thing going on. Right, so if I measure this, one of them should be a bridge, which will be 52mm pole spacing, and one will be the neck, which will be 50mm pole spacing, probably. That's 50mm, so that's probably the neck. We will find out exactly what this is in 2 seconds when I open this up and I go, it's the same. So you can measure them to test the outputs of them. I'll probably do that anyway, actually, because output is not does not really necessarily tell you very much. Oh, I've got 8K pickups. Really, it doesn't make any difference. It does, but it's like not the way you think it does. And that's a 52mm, so that's the bridge pickup. So in this one, they go like that, which annoys me. The guy did it intentionally, though. He wanted it so that it was like white and black and white and black, whereas in my brain it says, no, I want the black coils in the middle, or I want the white coils in the middle. I don't want them both the same. It goes that way. Obviously, the ones with the adjustable pole pieces on them are the one that has to go on the outside. When I say has to, it just looks right. It doesn't make any difference. Although I do have to try, my pal, the American, did start telling me about this, using the oscilloscope to set the pickups. I'm going to have to try it at some point. I just haven't bothered my arse to do it yet. 50, so this is the neck one. So this goes on to the neck pickup, right? Neck. I wonder if I'll get away with just using the original screws and stuff. Don't know. Find out. Could be using an electric screwdriver. Might use the electric screwdriver in a minute. I just don't like the idea. It's just, I mean, I don't like showing you guys me using a DeWalt to put screws into a guitar, because it's very easy to just go, oh, well, just use a DeWalt, vroom, and then you've just put the whole drill through the whole guitar. So I think a screwdriver, but yeah, or if it's not quite, you've got to be very careful. Oops, this was the neck one. Everything goes on like that. We'll keep the original chibson screws in it, maybe. Depends if they're the right. So the thing is, if you use the DeWalt to do this, you would never know whether it was actually the right thread or whether you just forced it in with sheer brute force and manpower. I don't think these are the same size holes. No, they're not the same size holes. So that's not a box. That's why they're not going in it. I've tried to put things in that, but if I put it upside down, it'll go in. That was the bottom of the box. A wee bit of a moment there. Right, and I'm assuming that these the iron gear ones are actually a smaller diameter screw, I think. Yes, they are. You can tell just by looking at them. There's the old one there. Look, That's the problem with there. See, that's actually a bigger bolt than the one that came with the iron gears. The problem with using a DeWalt to do that is I would just have drilled that in, and it would have gone in. It would just have made its own thread. So, quite glad I didn't do that. Right. So this is the. I said this was the neck one, didn't I? Right. That's the neck. That can go away. And then the neck goes with the adjustable poles going to the neck side. So this goes. See, this is like thinner at this side. It goes on that way. It's amazing how often that's wrong. Actually, I did a switch vibracell last week. My pal Davey's got one. It's actually a really good guitar. And the first thing I noticed, I'm the worst person to show me your new guitar. It's terrible. Up here, how would you think this is up here? Oh, it's really cool. That's backwards. You can see him go, fuck's sake. You've not even played it yet. It's like you're noticing things. I'm sorry. I just noticed these things immediately. You'll get something that wouldn't matter to anyone else, but I would notice immediately. I remember noticing that about Peter Green's guitar before it was famous. Before I knew it was famous, because I used to have one of the first things I ever recorded off the telly on my first VHS video thing was it's called Sounds of the 70s, and it had one of the videos on it was Peter Green or Fleetwood Mac doing "Oh Well," black and white thing, the version of "Oh Well." It's fantastic. You know, you just go, "Oh my God, it's so good." There you go. I'm just going to peel off those. There you go. So that's the neck pickup ready to go in. I'll just do the bridge one now. I was saying something there, but I forgot what it was. I could be using the. That's normally I'm below the settee. It's probably just out of reach. I've not. It's going to save me 10 seconds to do it with the drill. And if you're paying to get something hand wired, using power tools isn't. It's cheating, isn't it? It's been funny, the guy whose guitar knows it's his pals, but he came over, a guy from just lives 10 minutes up the road. Happy, how's it going? I was like, I recognise you now. It's like I go to see that many people about guitars. I can't remember people unless I see your face or you actually tell me which guitar it is that you had. Get that when I meet people. It's like sitting there out in the real world in Lidl or something like that. It's like, how's it going, Malcolm? Up here, yay, how's it going? And we 5 minutes talking to him, and then he goes like that. Then they say, yeah, so that Strat you wired for me, the red one, it works. Oh, red, I remember doing that. Oh, okay. See, that's not what I would expect. This is the bridge pickup. There's the where the bridge poles go. The thing comes out of there. That says neck position on it. And that says bridge position on it. I measured these. The bridge should be 52mm and the neck should be 50. Is what I was expecting. 50. Neck. Bastard. 50 as well. Oh well, okay. Right, so in that case, that has sealed the deal about me getting the thing out. You just notice I keep checking all these things. It doesn't matter how many times you do it. I mean, I worked out which one was which there, and then proceeded to put exactly the opposite of what I said I was going to do on it. I'm just trying to find my me drill, which is there. Ah, bastards. Yeah. Things would be easy, they wouldn't be fun, would they? Oh, this is annoying. I can actually see it, but it's wedged in below this seat. Come on, you bastards. Right. Oh. Dignity maintained. Aye. So never do this with a DeWalt, because that would be silly to do that. you might strip the screws. But if you've just screwed them all in, not the right screwdriver bit in it, forget it. I'll just do it the long way. It would have been quicker just doing it this way. Keep falling out with Jen over. Well, not falling out. Over trying to do things quickly. What's she was trying to do? She was trying to put the screws into the back of a, putting the back plate on a Strat, the one that covers up the train springs. She had it leaning against the wall, and it was just, watching her try to put these screws in, the thing's moving, and she's trying to do it, and it's like, why don't you just put the guitar flat? And the answer was, it was quicker to start just by leaving the guitar where it was and trying to put them in, whereas actually taking the guitar down, putting it flat, and then doing it so gravity's on your side would have taken an awful lot. It would have taken an extra 5 seconds initially, but she saved that 5 seconds and then spent an extra 3 minutes trying to put the screws in, because obviously you didn't have gravity on your side. And it's just like that whole thing about whether something's quicker or not. Doing it, was it less haste, more speed? So that's the neck position. That goes that way. It's a slightly thicker. That's the one there for it, so it goes that way. Yeah. But that was me. The reason I noticed that there. But although it was annoying, I really saved so much time spending an extra 10 seconds there, because I was talking about. It's funny the way that's the slug's coming out the wrong side. You'd normally expect it to come out of the bottom of the pickup, and it's like it's coming out the top, and it's like that's not normal. That's because it thingy. And also Iron Gear wrote bridge position and neck position on the pickups. So basically the difference between the two of them will be the output on them. You never used to get, back in the day, pickups were just the same. Jimi Hendrix, he didn't have his reverse wound middle pickup, he didn't have different powered pickups for each string, and he didn't have different pole spacing for each spring. He just had 3 pickups the same. If you want it to be louder, I see now it's working now. If I'm putting it in like that, you can see that it's coming out the bottom corner. So well done, Iron Gear. It's definitely worth trying to do this sort of thing on your own. But I mean, this sort of thing here, you can see this is not a skilled part of the build. Anything really I've done so far, and everyone can do this, but the amount of people that mess it up because they're just not thinking about it logically, it's like, and double checking, measure twice, cut once is the way to do it, rather than rushing and then spending a long time at the end trying to undo your mistakes. I mean, I've happened to be done so many guitars. It doesn't really matter how many you do. There's always something you don't know about as well. I mean, I've built so many guitars, it's up here you get it in for the pickup swap. But I wasn't told that the volume control wasn't working before I was given the guitar to swap the pickups in. So it's like you build it and you go, this is fuck, what's going on? It's like the volume control. The volume control doesn't work, by the way. I didn't just say that. Aye. So spend 5 minutes playing the guitar, seeing if there's anything majorly wrong with it. I keep checking the main check I'm doing on the J-Pax guitars is make sure the truss rod's not knackered. Obviously buying these things cheap off Facebook Marketplace and stuff, there's an awful lot of broken-y ones. I suppose we'll have some fun and see what the... Let's try to put 2 tops. Yeah, right, they can just go over there because it's out of the equation. Where's my multimeter? Well, I mispronounce it multi. So let's see what outputs we're getting. I'm not sure that these are actually going to be right. It's the bridge one, and the blue was the bridge. Blue for bridge, red for neck. Red neck. Okay. So the original pickup. So we're guessing, I don't know, sometimes they're quite high in the bridge. This could be it's going to be 8 or 16s in normal. You can't actually see the reading. You set this to 20k, by the way, if you buy a multimeter for a couple of quid. Well, do you get like an oven? Yeah, okay. That's what would be termed as quite hot, but it matters an awful lot what kind of magnet it is and what kind of wire it is. Not that all that tells you is how much is on it. See, they're sitting there. There you go. So that's gone from 11k down to 8k, right? So this is only 8k, and that's 11k. Therefore, This pickup is louder, isn't it? And more powerful, isn't it? Bet you this one is. DiMarzio Super Distortions are less than 8k. We'll do the same with the neck. So I'm expecting this, that will put 11. I'm expecting this one to be a bit less than that. This will be an 8, I would think. But again, allow me to reiterate that the 10.2. So the other one was what it was. I said 11. It was 10.9 or something. This is 10.2. So again, a bit more. This is the neck pickup. I'm expecting this to be 8 again. I'm just what I'm testing here is that they're just the hot to the shield, the start. Also, which I've just thought of there, what this is actually doing as well is it's checking to make sure the pickup works before I put it in. I'm checking to make sure the pickup works before I put it in. Alright, okay. That's the shield, right? And that's the black wire. They're both black. So it actually goes between this one and this one to get it in. 7. So okay, so you've got 8 and 7, so these are the neck and balance thing. But there again, that's just like that whole checking the pickup, make sure it works, because I mean I've done it before, you put a guitar in, it's like I don't know if they actually test these things before they send them out. You would think so. Right, so now to put these pickups back into the guitar. I'll definitely get these the right way around. Blues engine neck position, and there's the 3 wires there going to the switch, so I don't really need to do anything with them. I just need to poke these through that hole and hope they go into the... The way to do this might be to put a wee bit of tape around the edge, just to make it a bit more pointy if I'm going to try and poke this through the hole here. That hole there? No, it was in that hole, is it? Is that coming out there? Oops. It is. Right, so... Okay. So this one actually coming out. It's coming out this hole. I thought it went straight into the cavity. It's not. So it's going into the bridge pack, which I said at the very start it was going to do. So I'm just going to run that all the way in there. Goes in that way. And below. There. Like that. Careful not to scratch the top of the guitar with the screws on the back. And it does look like indeed it's going to fit. You never really know. There's actually not the greatest system there with the wires that are going to the pickup switch are actually in the way of where the leg of the pickup goes, so I need to make that come out there like that a little bit, make it sit in properly. There is a fair possibility that with putting new pickups in your guitar as well, they're going to be deeper than the ones that come in it. That needs to come down a little bit. I'm just making sure this fits so I don't have to do any routing. As long as I can get it just below the fretboard, we've got plenty of room for upwards adjustment. We're alright, okay. Right, so my usual way for these is I just put 2 screws in. Just so it's definitely working. I'm going to turn off that. I can actually smell that solder now. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again in a minute. I usually tend to divide all these little jobs up into sort of groups, as in I will put in stage 1, take off the stuff, stage 2, switch over the pickups into the new pickup rings, stage 3 will be, I suppose, put the pots back in, and stage 4 is connect them back up again. But I'm really just doing it just now. I would normally think, right, once I've done this I'll go to the toilet, or once I've done this I'll go and get some tea, or I'll have a drink, or something. This is not easy. It's not going to fit through the hole that way, is it? Ah, see, this is just a pig. See, this wire, if you look at it, is significantly thicker than that one because it's got 4 wires in it. The hole that wire goes through is the same thickness, so I've got to try and poke this wire through a hole designed for this. And the thing that's annoying about this is the first one. There's another one to come as well. The bridge pickup has to go through this hole as well. And it's quite a long hole. This is really fucking annoying. So it's one of those ones where the difference between wiring up your guitar, you know, I mean, if all this stuff had been done, and it was just a case of doing the actual soldering bit, I'd have been finished by now. But instead, so this is stuff that you can do yourself. I suppose I wouldn't have been able to test to make sure the guitar still worked, and you might have broken something doing it though. Come on, go in. Appear to be getting there. I just try to poke something that's got. Can I see it yet? No. So it would have been much nicer if it had a wider, a bigger hole to stick the stuff through. I really don't want to have to go in there and drill it. There must be a way around that, so I don't have to do that. That's just wedged firmly and is not going through anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this up so that it fits through the hole. The joys of working on guitars. The amount of time that is spent with stupid stuff like this, where you're just like, come on, this isn't real work. This is the boring, shitey bit. I'm just hoping that this might make it a little bit smoother to go through that hole. And I'm just going to have to deal with it when it comes to the next pickup. I can already see. Everything never goes smoothly, so I'm just trying to. It just boils down to this hole is not big enough for this wire. Oh, what an annoying bastard of a thing. Come on. Fucker, come on. And it's still not showing through this hole. Really not a good design. Let's have it a little bit easier to make. I don't want to end up having to, you know, do anything else with it. So which side of this is it going to come out on? It's going on that side. This is the bit that Jen always gets me when we're doing the. We'll go live while you're wiring that, and it's like, pure, yeah, okay, go live. This pickup doesn't fit. It's like, that's just how it works. And this is there's not really any way of doing this better or properly. You know, it's like there are people who would go, all right, these pickups don't fit. I'm not willing to accept that, but I can now at least see it. The thing that's really pissing me off about this is the fact that this is an easy one to do. Because I'm currently putting a thick wire through a hole that was meant for two thin wires. But I'm putting two thick wires into it. And the problem is when you push it, it kind of scrunches up inside the hole. You really want to pull this through if you can. I can actually see it here though, so it should basically be a case of grabbing it and pulling it, but see, that was just far harder than it should have been. That should have been a 10-second job, but instead it's taken me 5 minutes. And again, it's right at the point where look here, right where the leg of the pickup goes. So it's going to be tight. And I've got to try and put another wire through that same hole. It's just not going to want to go. Moan, moan, grumble, complain. That's me. And I'll just start this one by taping it off as well. So on this one, black is the bridge. I wish I'd had that much, but if I'd had that problem, it was light at the end of the tunnel. This way, there's no light at the end of this tunnel. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without fucking taking everything out and drilling that hole bigger. Might be the only way I'm going to be able to do this. That's like the old drop-in replacements thing. I never drop in replacements. So I've got to try and batter this through that same hole that I've already put the other wire through, which was a total nightmare. Yay! I mean, you can get this one to actually look, it's even thinking about fitting in the hole. Oh, it's actually going in. It's actually going in. It's actually going in. Now it's stopped. No, still going. I take it it's not showed up yet on the other side. I don't think I've poked it in enough. No. So just continue trying to poke stupid wire through hole too small for wire. I'm putting an awful lot of pressure on this to try and poke it through. Oh. Actually, I wonder if something a bit more grippy would be better for pushing it through. I don't want to damage it. It's just not going through anymore. I'd have loved it if I could just see if I could see it here, would be at the end, but the problem is what I'm looking at here is a hole with 4 wires already coming out it and no gaps next to those wires, as implying, yep, that's all the wires you can fit down that hole. I'm definitely stopping. I'm having a break after this. I'm having a fag break. How else am I going to do it? How far in did I get? I must be so close. Definition of insanity, doing exactly the same thing again and expecting different results. So I'm doing exactly the same thing again and hoping for different results. I'm so close. I wonder if I can put it behind one of the other wires so it's going in the middle somewhere. I'll put it on top of it maybe. If this is at the top, is that going to make any difference? Why are all guitars a nightmare? Every single one of them. This is kind of like why I don't like working on cars. It's that whole thing about, yes, I can fix a car. Yeah, what I can't do is spend all day trying to get one fucking stupid bolt off that's rusty. Which shouldn't really count as part of the changing your car, but... Mind you, anything easy is not worth doing, is it? I don't mind easy things. Right, I am going to do the logical thing. I'm going to pause this, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to start again. I'm going to have a wee bit of a rest because my temper has risen, so I'm pissed off right now. So if I just pause this, then have a fag, I'll be calm when I come back. See you in a minute. So I'm back. What I've done now is I've poked this thinner wire through the hole. It's like, I don't want to take it to bits and have to try and drill that hole bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the pickup, which I've lost. It's there. To that, and hope that I can pull this bastard through. Which it might work. Or it might not work. If it doesn't work, you probably won't see this bit of the video. Well, maybe you will. Let it all hang out there. Right, so I put that on there. And then use this and then go for it lengthways. That should be quite a lot of grip this should have on that. Maybe using the heat shrink wrap tubing would be the way to go. I was thinking if I can roll that really, really tightly onto the end of this, I should be able to pull this cable all the way through the guitar. Wouldn't that be a nice idea if that was going to work? So, is it going to work is my question. That wire. Right, here we go. Looking good so far. Bastard. Really? How did I mean, I'm going to solder it on. I'm going to solder this wire onto something and see if that's strong enough to actually get a grip on it, you know, like a sacrifice. Just a couple of mil off the end of the cable. They're long enough anyway, but if I see if I can just solder onto that, would that give me something to pull on? I'm actually soldering onto 2 wires, so yep, I'm going to solder this bit of wire. Back up there. Good. I could feel it. I felt that slip as soon as I started doing it. It was just like, oh, God, it's not working, bastard. Take me a couple of, another 30 seconds for the soldering iron to heat up. Well, I don't know if I come across. I have come across this before, but normally when I'm doing it with my own wires, it's not normal. I mean, it's just if you basically a better design of guitar would have just had bigger holes, so it wasn't quite as tight. Can't save any money really drilling a slightly smaller hole. And to be fair, I think what most people do, you keep seeing it with Gibsons, people want a real Gibson but don't want to spend £6,000 or whatever it is on one, so they buy one of these, you know, for £300 or something, and then spend £500 on bits to put in it. But I'm just assuming that solder is stronger than tape. But that should be pretty well solid. So I should be able to pull that through the hole with a little bit of pressure on it without actually snapping in, hopefully. Yeah, this wire actually goes through not too badly because it's the proper thickness. Of course I say that, but... Right, so there's my wire I've got to pull on. Here we go. Can't even get it in the hole. We have to put another bit of tape just around that very first bit so there's not a lip for it to get caught on. But this is the real guitar worky stuff. None of this, oh, I've got it all, it'll work fine and it's edited. No, you got to see the pain and the pissed offness that you have to get with these things. And holding back the swearing, which I haven't actually been doing particularly well. I have swore so far, but not nearly as much as I would have if I hadn't been filming it. There's a wire there, right? But just if I can get that to just come on, just go in there and just start accepting it. Just take it, bastard. Right. Oh, I'm going to pull that so hard to get through. I'm putting so much pressure on that to pull that through, it's ridiculous. This wire will snap first before the... This is a flipping nightmare. The wire just... I can't... I must be so close. It's there. I must be so close to getting out the hole at the other end. It's ridiculous. Going from there. I'm just right at the edge. It's getting stuck just when it comes out the hole. I don't even think there's any... Is there any way I can pull these other wires out the way or something? Or something I can do? Or maybe if I take one of the thinner wires out and then push it back in last or something. I don't know. Right, next way of doing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip the end off the wire so it doesn't have this big gloopy bit on the end. I'll redo it at the other end. Right, so end bit gone. So now I'm just going to try and poke that through, and hopefully that's going to be more rigid and more willing to go through. Feels like it's going in. Right, that's me hit as far as it's wanting to go. I take it, I can't see it. I'm totally leaving this whole video up so you can see how much fun it is. If I pull that grey wire out, wherever it went, can I pull the grey wire back through and have this kind of attached to it? The grey wire didn't really want to go through the hole either, to be honest. I didn't want to come back out through the hole. So I put it behind it. Put it behind the grey wire. Nope. You can see if you look at the way the routing is in these bits. You know, this hole is going to be like this on the inside. That's why nothing's going through it. Also the fact it's not the right size, but I just want to put this wire in. It's so flippin' annoying. Oh man. But if you look back in this video at the start when I was trying to poke the first wire through, I was like, oh god, it's the second wire that's the one I'm not looking forward to. It's like, because obviously both these wires are twice as thick as the ones that came out, so there should have been enough room to get one of them in no problem. Because I have to send you mental, it really is. So what happens if I put this on, pull this one right back out here, right, and then I tape this one onto the one that's already in, and then pull it back through? Is that going to work? Or is the tape just not going to cut it again? This isn't going to make any difference. It's just not going to hold on to it, is it? So if I pull the grey wire through, I'm not giving up. Obviously, you can't give up at these things. That's not pulling it through. Fucking bar steward of a thing. What are these other wires doing? The red and the yellow are both short, so if I pull the red and the yellow wire out, right, they're thinner. So one would think that if I pulled out the red and yellow wire, they've got a smaller hole to go through once I've put out the, like, there's the red wire is out. The yellow wire, even they don't want to come out the hole. Right, so now there's two less wires. Can I put this one through? I said no. doesn't want to take this. It just gets to the end and just stops dead. Right, so that's, I felt that go. So that's that one through. I've got the black and I've got the grey. Right, okay. Now what I've got to try and do is put the yellow and the red wire through the same hole, but they're not as big. So hopefully there's a chance that these are actually going to go through somewhat on their own. And there's definitely some sort of blockage in the tunnel that we're going down. I mean, to be honest, my next move is going to be taking the replacing these wires with thinner ones. Like these two. They both don't need to be shielded. I get away with only one of these being shielded. But again, we're at the problem here where if I'm putting in this one here, and it's not even the end of the tunnel when I get this one in. I'm going to tape up the end again, try and make it so it's not rough. Who'd be a guitar tech? Imagine how much fun this is doing this in factory. It just seems to be fine until you get to that point. There's a point where it just goes, oh. See, it's right at the entrance to the hole from the other side. Maybe if I try and run these cables the other direction, it might work. But then I've got a whole other kettle of worms, other ones to do. It just gets to there, and it's just stopping dead. Bastard. There's nothing. It's not. It's just. There's nothing there. I can feel it just stopping dead as soon as I get to the bit I want to be at. So it just goes to show you, you can clearly see that I have spent so much more time trying to put this fucking stupid wire through a hole that's not big enough than I will do for the rest of the job. They're taking the guitar to bits, of wiring up the pickups, of changing the pots, all that easy. Try to put a fucking stupid wire through a hole that's not big enough. Nightmare. So there you go, if you're buying a chibson. Just something to be thinking about. How fucking annoying it is. And how sanity just escapes from you when you're just trying to do something stupid. Especially, it's made it worse actually trying to do it in a video. It's going to the same distance every time. Just refusing to come out that hole the other side. I don't even know. There's not even any way I can put everything to one side of the hole or the other side of the hole. It's just so tight. There's just nowhere to put it. And like I say, once I've put this yellow wire through, I've still got the red one to go, which is obviously going in through the same hole, which will be even tighter. And it just gets stuck at the same point every time, whatever that is. Can I go down the inside of this wire? That's what I'm going to try and do. I'll put that over here and go on this side. Is it actually going to make any difference? I'm just going to get stuck at exactly the same bit. I want to give up. I just want to throw this guitar in the bin and never have to look at it ever again. And every time it just gets to exactly the same spot where this has been badly cut. This video should just be called "Watch Me Lose the Will to Live." Why wouldn't you just go? Totally tempted to put this down, have lunch, and then come back. See if anything's better when I come back, because this is just the most annoying thing ever. And it's not even like I've got any way out of it. There's no shortcuts. There's no way around it. I don't have a drill bit that can drill this hole. So it's just, I don't know what kind of drill bit you need to drill a hole like this. It's probably got to be done during the construction phase. I take it the red wire's not going to go in. It's not going to make any difference whether it's a red wire or a yellow wire. These both have both got to go through that same fucking hole, which is too small for both of them. It's going to get to the point where it just suddenly goes, oh, there's the wee lip that I like. It's just... I don't even know how to... I'm at the end of my tether. There's nothing. No, there's something stopping it. Right, fuck it, bastard. And right, so now there's only one wire going through that hole. So how can it be so hard? How can it be so difficult? Right, so I've got one in. It's just, you see if you look at this, look at the hole. The hole. There's no room for any more wires coming out of that hole, and I've got to put 3 more through it. What a nightmare! This is just going to do the same again, isn't it? It's going to get to that point where you go, oh, it's all going in, it's all going in, it's all going in, and it's just going to go dunk when it gets to the end, and it's at the end of the hole shorter, smaller than the rest of it. There's the bit there. There's a lip right there which is just stopping anything coming out. The annoying thing is I don't even know where in this stupidly small hole these things should do. I mean, I have to go behind that. There doesn't even be any room at all. It's a flipping nightmare. I don't want to have to... I mean, I've got the option. I can, you know, change the wires on the pickups. Like in the cavity. I can change them. That there might be causing me problems. Let's get rid of that. It's not going to do any good. And I don't think there's much point in trying to put, you know... I was just on the off chance that that bit of tape was stopping it. I don't think it was. Managed to get the yellow one in. They're just the black. And the red to go. I don't know what bucket. I'm going to snip the end off this one as well to get it. No. Put the red one in. Like, sod it, red one as well. They're all just getting snipped. I'm doing so much more soldering here than I should be because of this stupid bastard small hole. Hate it. Want to kill chibson right now. I'm aware you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to poke the same wires into the same holes. I'm now the last wire being the black one. And I just want this wire to just go through that hole and just be through the hole, and then that's it. And then once I put this on, I'm totally stopping for some tea. It just hits a dead spot. Pull that tight. Where's the red one? That red one there. Pull that out. Pull that tight. What does it get us? Nothing. Pull the grey one tight. Right, so now instead of trying to poke a wire through a hole that's not big enough for it, I've now got a yellow wire or a red wire or the black wire. I've now got the other black wire to try and poke through into the same hole, try to put the same 4 things into the same hole, and it didn't fit any other time, so why would it be any different this time? can see it. I can see it. Oh dear, keep hitting us off that stool. Right. Right, what an absolute nightmare that was. All I've done, I've not done in, all I've done is put the fucking pickup in. Right. I managed to get to fit. Right, so... Oh, jeez, really? Oh. I'm going to have to stop again. But at least that's one of the things done. Now it's on to all easy things that I know how to do. Not that I'm saying I don't know how to do that, but that's just the most fidgety and annoying bastard of a thing ever. So basically, I suppose this is probably quite good for folks out there thinking, oh, pure guitar wiring's too hard. That's not guitar wiring. That's just man versus stupid, annoying bastard thing. There wasn't any actual guitar wiring involved in that. That was just trying to get things shit through a stupid small hole. Right, I've now got to prep all those wires that I just snipped to get them to fit through that hole from the start again. Horrible. Right, so what's this red one? It's not very long. I hope it's not an important one. Is this just a core or a... I had to cut the end of it to get to fit through the hole. It's not. It's a... Damn it. It's a core and a sleeve, right? So it needs to have an earth on it. That's enough there. So we've got centre and outside. Fine. Like that. One. Shoulder and arms off, we'll do that, come back to that later. Red one didn't touch it, that's just the output, that's alright, that's just the output as well. These are, can I just put these out here and stuff them into this hole just so they're out the way. Okay. You get the yellow one, which I don't think I had to cut. I didn't. Whatever the yellow one was. Didn't take a photo of it before I started, although I do have a video, so I could maybe look at that. And then I'll get this black one. And then I can start wondering whether I bet you the CTS pots don't fit through the holes in the body. That was one of the foreseen problems I was going to have. I thought, I bet you those Chinese pots have got smaller holes, so I'm going to have to drill holes in the top of the body to make the bigger pots fit. But I was kind of aware of that being a possible problem later on. 1, 2, 2, right. This one's already okay. That one's fine. This one I had to cut all the wires on it to make it fit through, so this one's completely down to 5 wires that I've got to solder together. There's the shield. Don't need that. Get out. And there's your 5 wires. So it was a green and white that went together, it was. So I'm going to trim both of these and then twist them together. These are the tap wires if anyone ever's going in later on try to put coil splits in. These are the wires at the end of one coil and the start of the other. Did I turn that on? I didn't. Those two just get twisted together. Tempted to just actually just put the black and the shield together because that's where they go anyway. So I suppose the red, the white, the red, the yellow, and the black wire that are coming from that go to the switch will come from the 2 volume pots. 2 will be a send to the volume pot, to the not volume pot, the pickup switch, and the other one will be a return from it. So Probably the black one will just go to the tone pot where it's the output is. Right, 345. Been watching Starship Mudskipper. They've got series 2's out. About 3 weeks ago, episode 1 came up. It was amazing. Episode 2 came out last week. It's brilliant. I can't remember how I segued onto that. I've fallen asleep during it a couple of times. Starship Mudskipper, check it out on YouTube. I think kind of like Red Dwarf sort of thing. But it was a radio show. But they've kind of got the same amount of subs as me, which is disgusting. Sorted. Where's the other wire I was cutting? That one there. Yep. That one. Beep. And beep. And then there was the yellow one. Beep. And beep. Yeah. Right. How long have I been doing this for? An hour and 16 minutes. And an hour of that was fucking putting that through the hole. So I'm having another break because my heckles are up and I'm really raging and pissed off. Don't come over just now and see me or you'll just get punched in the face. Basically straight up. Just like, hi Marco. Fuck you. Hate the world. So I've calmed down a little bit. Not much. Still pretty raging. I did have to drill out the holes to take the bigger pots because these are, if you look at them, they've got wider shafts than what these do. Yeah, have I moved this? I have, I've moved this. Yeah, so now I'm just on to the prep for these. So I put an A on the back of this because they don't fucking say alpha pot on them. I'm just going to do a wee bit of... I've already done that one. I'm sorry, I just continued working even though I stopped. I was watching a thing on Vinnie Vincent, who was a guitarist in Kiss for a bit, a weird looking guy. I don't know why I've been watching lots of Kiss stuff recently. I don't really like Kiss, but I quite enjoyed I quite like the folk in it. I quite like Paul Stanley. He's quite funny. But I don't really like their music very much. They're not my thing. That's one that's already been done. That's why it's already got. That's the one there. Yep. So what I'm doing is I'm just roughing the edge of this to get the solder to stick to it better. And then I'm going to bend. So stage 1 wouldn't it be clever if I had something that I could just sit that on, so I could just something like that. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. That's fine. Right. Where's my roller solder? There. I'll be pro about it. I saw just saw Jimmy Moon's son do this and just took a wee bit of solder off like that, so it's easier to actually work with. He had it on a sort of spool. I'm too used to trying to keep solder. I want to get the absolute maximum out of it. So I'm just soldering, just tinning the contacts on the board. I'm also going to put a bit of solder on there for any extra wires. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to bend this up so it touches on it there. Like that. Then if I solder them together, I need to be a wee bit cleverer than that about it. Just put a bit of solder to connect the lug 1 to the earth on the back, to the shield it to the back of the pot. That's what I'm trying to do here. Not particularly super neat, that one. Do better in the next one. This is the tone pot. This one doesn't do that. That one needs to get the tone cap put on it. This one, bit of solder on here, which is a bit I've already roughed up, just so there's something to stick it to if I need to do a second piece of soldering. One on there because it's going to take this lug. I suppose I'll put the. I'm doing this just now rather than trying to do it in the guitar where I've got more room. How this works, and then I've got to bend that over onto there, and then just solder that onto there. It's a bit neater, that one. And then there's my tone cap. Right, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go into the old tone cap. You can put like a bumble drop, whatever you call it, fancy cap on, but I'm not even going to wire it the same way this is wired anyway. I'm going to wire it my way. Get that off. Get that off, because I don't think there's any difference between caps. A cap is a 0.47k cap. Whether it's a germanium or whatever other pish they're talking about, I don't think it makes any difference. Whether it's, I do get it. I mean, I suppose if I had a 10 grand guitar, I would put in I'd want to spend a fiver on a cap. But the whole output of the guitar's got to come from this one, actually. And see, I put the solder not on the bit where the serial number is for someone in the future who has got to work out how to do it. You can go, oh look, it's an alpha pot once they've looked up the proper charts and stuff. Right, that's the tone pot in. Is that kind of out the way enough? Maybe I'll bend that down a wee bit and get a bit more room. There we go. Yep. So basically the output from the switch is going to that centre lug and then coming straight off that and going to the jack socket. So I'm now ready to start thinking about putting the pots in the guitar. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. A protectory thing. Let's fire these in. That's doesn't say alpha or beta on it, so there's the end on it. So it's the beta. Beta for volume, alpha for tone. Although people can argue that with me if they want. Doesn't mean they're right. That seems to work pretty well. I'm not going to bother putting the washer in the back. I think this is about the right height. At least the one thing that has gone right is I did buy the right pots, so these ones do actually fit rather than having to try and extend them or something stupid, like which is I've had to do before. That. So I'll just put that in here. There could be sometimes it's better to try and actually connect the wires to them when they're not in the guitar, but this one's not too bad a cavity for size. It's not too deep. And there's some room in it, so I can get at it. See, this is the relaxing bit. What, the bit where the stuff's actually in the guitar. So basically, if you want a super discount for me wiring your guitar up, see if you put all this stuff in yourself, spend the afternoon shouting at it and hating it, and then give it to me, it'll be much cheaper. It does mean you've got to do all this stuff and you'll be tearing your hair out my arm. I'm looking for my things in below here as well somewhere. Yeah. I did say how good that wee black spanner thing was. This thing is, but sometimes a socket set's sometimes just easier. It means you get more control over it. What I'm doing here is I'm holding the pot in the back and then tightening it up from the top. This is not the final tighten, but it's a right. So I suppose I should probably check that the They're not turning. Just make sure these knobs fit back on again. They're going to fit on the... They don't want to fit on the CTS pots, these knobs. So that's fun. They're kind of on, but not quite. They look alright. Right. What, the actual wiring bit? An hour and a half in? Yep. An hour and a half in, not including the times that I had to stop and had a wee break because I was raging. Yeah. Yeah. Right, so I suppose first things first, let's get the wires out the way. So this black one is from the output jack, which I'm going to poke down there and I'm going to put onto the back of the tone pot. Once I find my tweezers, which I was using 2 seconds ago, therefore I've lost. Uh-huh. I mean, I expect to lose things that I had in my hand 2 seconds ago. I'll put them back in their spot on top of my stereo. Right, so first things first. The black, the earth from the jack socket goes to the back of the pot. Neat, right. And then the red goes into the centre lug. Okay. So that's those two on. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to poke them all over here on this side of the pot to get them out of the way so I don't... That's just all I'm doing is just stuffing them out the way. I'm going to have to take the thingy off as well, actually. The cover for the switch to see which wire in the switch does what. Three. The other one I just dropped down there. Right. So I can now see that the yellow wire is the centre one, so the yellow wire is the output. So the yellow wire in the back of the guitar goes to this pot here. Which is going to be long enough. Just. So that's got to go to earth. Now I put earth in there. I put that out of the way. I put earth right there. It needs an earth. No matter whereabouts it gets earth, as long as it gets earth on this pot. So that's transferred the earth from the switch to... That's kind of fucking quite close. Wish I didn't have to cut that wire. It's just kind of... See, that's kind of touching the terminal. We don't want that. We can't do that. It's got to be, and we're going to put a separate earth wire in. It's because I had to cut that wire. So this can go on the centre lug. On, and then this earth here has to go to an earth without touching anything else. Yep, it's going to do that. No, I've got to put it around the back of that. Put that round the top. Like that, and then put that over here. That's going to be fine. It's going to be good. So that goes down on there, and it's not going to touch the other. Nope, it's not anymore. Right, that's on. That's on. That's on. Right. So that's the output jack done. Right, this is just the overall earth, which I will put to, doesn't really matter where it goes, I'll put it onto that one, I think. I'm going to run an earth wire, earthing all these together anyway. You can't really have too much earth. You can see the mad angles I'm having to go in here to not melt anything. Right, earth wire on. So the black and the red are the outputs for the that send it, right. So this guy wanted them the wrong way around. So he wanted the bridge pickup, which if I look in the back of this and I click down, bridge pickup is, that's them both on, that's it off. So that's the bridge pickup on, which means it's the red wire. The red wire is the bridge pickup. So I'm having to wire this. This is getting wired like a jazz bass, so it goes the other way. So normally I would put the input on the. This lug would normally be the. How do I put it? The input normally goes to here, but this is not. This is the output going to here. And the reason for that is so that when you turn it down, it can bypass onto the next pot. So if I do that, move that round here, put it onto that earth point, it gives me as much room as I possibly can get in there. That one there. Alright. So that's that connected to the switch. It just needs the pickup put on it. And the black one was the earth, so it's exactly the same. It just needs to go from the outside pot, the outside lug, this one, lug 3. Not very happy with that one. Right, strong now. Get that out the way. Get that over there. Pull this earth over to here. Stick it onto the bit that we've already done, go to the back of the pot. And if I'm clever about this, I could actually, thinking about it, I don't need to put any extra earth wires in, because both these wires are both shielded, which have an earth on them, yeah? So they're all earthed on the switch up at the top. Also, the output of the switch, the yellow one, has also got an earth on it, so that the earth is going from there to the switch, coming back out the switch to there, going back to the switch, coming back out the switch, going to there, then the output jack's connected straight on it, so that's it all earthed up proper. So really all I should have to do now is stick the pickups on. And I remember the black being bridge, which is good. I'm going to put a wee tiny bit of tape on the tap wire, on the split wire, just to stop it touching something and then accidentally single coiling the pickup. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but don't want to do that. So just a wee tiny bit of tape just to tape off the green and the white together. I probably do have. It's not the neatest thing, but there, like that. And I suppose I'll look and see which one there says black, and it doesn't really matter whether which one's black and which one's red. But I'm taking it they're saying red is the signal, black is the ground, which is it's to me sounds sensible. So I'm doing this without even looking at any diagrams, because I'm just assuming I'm right. So the bridge pickup is this one, and the bridge pickup here. So I want the two blacks go together and go to earth, and then the red goes to the lug on the. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to twist these together before I connect them to the pot. I get the impression that's not quite long enough. I think just a little bit, just a wee bit more. Like that. That should be them. And then just put the two of them together. They're both together. And then that red one is the centre, so that goes onto the earth there. Solido. And then So this is the bridge, the bridge to the bridge and pick up, bridge and the neck of the wrong way round. That's right, right, okay. Then that goes into the centre lug. That means when I'm calling this jazz bass wiring because if you know, a jazz bass has 2 pickups, and if you turn the volume down on one, the other one stays on. Whereas if you do it the other way, just these two together. These are the earth, the black, and the shield. Go to earth, and the red one goes to the lug. And I've lost that stupid wee bit of solder there. It's there. So put earth, put some wire on that, right, and put some tin on that. This is called tinning when you put it on the edge of the. Oh, you can't see it. You know what I'm doing. That's maybe a bit long. I really put it on anyway tonight. And this is where it becomes basically, if you're going to do this, don't have it in such a situation where you've got cables and stuff lying around your camera, because it just makes it that much more awkward to actually get at anything. But you can actually see me now, yeah. So what I'm doing is here I'm putting the red wire, which I'm, let's be honest, not super happy with. Maybe if I fold it in half, make it a bit, seems a bit long. When you've got too much, a big tail of wire, there's more of a chance of it touching something, shorting out. So that's good enough. And then the red goes into the centre lug, which is now getting a little bit harder to see because there's other wires in the way. I can still get at it. There's the red going into the centre lug. Right, that's that done. And then the earth goes to earth. And then I should have a fully functional guitar. Is what should have happened here. Whether it has happened or not, we will find out in a second. I've done a better soldering job than the one that was done in the guitar to start with. So that hopefully is the guitar now working. Is it overconfidence to turn off the soldering iron? So obviously I've still got stuff to put back together again. The amp is on. And this, obviously it's not going to be anything like in tune, but we'll see if it works. No. Right, so. Okay. What's going on? So we've made a mistake. Notice I said I shared the blame with all of you. So what have I not done right? So I definitely reckon that the black is definitely the bridge pickup. So where does the black go? The black goes to there. No. The black is going to the input lug. So the black should be working, the bridge pickup should be working, and the neck is going to the output lug, and then the pickup's going to the centre. The red, and then the yellow's going to there. So why is it not working? Would be my next. I want to know why. Bridge pickup. Nothing. So at least the bridge pickup is that, although I have actually selected it from the wrong terminal of the switch. That should be neck, shouldn't it? But there's nothing from the bridge pickup. There's nothing from the neck pickup. Now I did check these before I. So the bridge is working there, but if the switch is the wrong way around, which means I've put the wire on the wrong one. I should take the output and swap it over, and maybe that'll just sort it. Don't know. I reckon the black was a bridge pickup. It's obviously got to be the red. You do that, it pitches round and puts it on. Okay, yeah. Yep, I could swap the wire on the other end, but I don't think that'll make any difference. Where's the black wire then? There. It's a going to be that easy to get at. It's not going to be too bad actually. Yeah, okay. Vegetate. I'm just now sitting here hoping that I haven't burst that this grey wire. Try to poke it through because the grey wire is currently not working. So we've got the earth, we've got the signal, so that should be giving us a signal, but it's not. The pickup's going to the middle lug. That's right. That should be right. I wonder if am I getting a signal through that? Where's my multimeter? I hope I've not pulled one of the wires off. I mean, I just have to extend it, but I mean, this is all because those fucking stupid wires, the stupid holes aren't big enough to take the cables. So that there should be giving me the full reading. It's giving me nothing. What? There's no resistance between the black and the red. What the hell's going on? I don't think anyone's gonna get to see this video. I think when I was trying to pull that fucking grey wire through it, I've maybe broken the cables inside the thing. There's plenty of room on it, but I mean, that is infuriating. Maybe if I take it off, it'll show me the readings. This is why I tested the pickup before I started. So that there should be giving me a signal between the red and the black, and it wasn't. So is it still, or is I just connecting that wrong? It shouldn't be a 0. It should be a 8 point or something, 7 or 7.7, whatever it was. Yeah. So it is working. So why wasn't it working when I put it on there? We don't know. Doesn't mean the pickup's not burst though, which is less work. It's possible that just wasn't a very good connection. Where is my tweezers now? Again, there. So this is basically just watching me go insane. Oh, I see a problem. I see what the problem was. It's a stupid problem to have that in it. There's a total ball hair of a cable there that's snapped, that's connected these two together, which was bridging it, basically shorting out the whole guitar. That's just by me not being quite neat enough. So they still want the bridge pickup to go, they want the black pickup to go to the, so the switch is the right way around. So the red one goes to this one. Like so. So, and then the black one goes to this one. There's an outside lug and earth, and this time I'll try and make it so that it doesn't actually, there isn't a wee tiny shard of, a wee hair of the earth cable connecting it to the bulk. Like that, so I'll put that on there. You can sort of see what I'm doing. Not really. I think I was going to be doing this anyway, so it's not. Right. And the bridge and the neck pickup were the right way around, so this time I just need to put it on so they're not touching each other and it'll be fine. Kind of like put a bit more solder on that. That's just for my own gratification. Make it look a bit neater. Right. That's rock solid. Right. And then we've got the red hot output. It goes to the centre lug. So. Right. Now we have a working guitar. Maybe. Be nice if it was. So. Right, still. So we're now not getting anything from the... We've now got the bridge pickup. Tone works. Volume works. Something wrong with this. Oh, there's nothing wrong. You have to turn the volume up. Neck pickup. Both pickups. Bridge pickup. Yeah, so... Done! What a flipping nightmare that was. Really, just for something that should be dead easy. I suppose it's just one of those things. It's the same as like, you know, people fixing cars and stuff like that. It's like, you know, mechanically there's nothing, I didn't do anything difficult or... Look at that. That wasn't me. I mean, to be totally fair to Chibson, I mean that's not a structural issue how well the back cover fits. So I'm glad they spent, you know, extra time making sure the frets were in the right place and stuff like that. But something like that just looks like somebody who's gone, oh, these don't fit. Oh, just sandpaper it a bit until it fits in the factory, which probably shows you that it's how relatively handmade these things are likely to be. This is probably more handmade than anything else you can get under £1,000 sort of thing. Because I mean that's the sort of thing I would do. Let's be honest. On a bucket caster, I would expect to find a cavity cover that didn't quite fit correctly, but it was still structural. You don't see it unless you take the cover off. I mean, now it looks fine. This and a couple of these screws, put this back on again. I'm just rebuilding this back up again before I tune it, and then I will do the other half of my video. This won't count as a real video. This will have to go out on its own. So it fits quite well. It kind of clips in. You don't even need to put screws in it. Apart from, I'm not sure. I wouldn't have wanted to switch the pickups the other way around, but I mean it's up to whoever. That's very much a personal taste thing. It's not a case of it being wrong. It's just that I have taste. 1, 2. I started watching Halo again last night. It's back on the TV series, which everyone hated. I've lost a screw. Okay. I'm sure I'll have one somewhere, but it's annoying me that I've lost it. I'll have a wee scope about later on. I'm one screw down. Definitely put them in that wee tub. So they've come out of that tub when I've kicked it over, when I've been taking something else out. They've stuck to a pickup or something like that, I bet you. I bet you it's stuck to the back of one of the early pickups I took out. Or something along those lines. This pickup's very low down. It needs to come up a good whack. I would have expected this guitar would have had a thicker pickup ring. Seems quite low. This is by no means a set way of doing it. I'm just doing it so that, you know, this is not by no means measured. I'm just making it look sort of right before I try and tune it up. Sounds a bit right. Where's the other screw there? Where's the pickups? I'm not stuck to that one. Not stuck to that one. Not in that box. What I find annoying about that is the fact that I was totally aware of it, so I even used a tub so I didn't lose any of the screws. But I have. It'll be about somewhere. I'll find it. If not, I'll steal one of my guitars. Definitely. Okay, tuning uppy time. And see what these pickups sound like. In fact, I'll just leave it at that. So, tuning uppy, make sure it's working, so I don't have to go back to it before I put everything else away. So, tuner. Use excessively big. Find out how good the tuners are. They're not great. No, they're not bad. The problem with these sort of tuners is you do occasionally get ones. One of them's just shit. So I think one of the things about getting the cheap ones is it depends whether somebody in the factory's actually tried them. Going, it's a crap one, put it in the bin. 1 in 20 is just shit. I might actually have time to put this. Might even be able to put these 2 videos out. So there we got the bridge with a volume control, the neck, okay. So these pickups are, well, as I said earlier on, you're looking at these are the ones that were in it originally were hotter because they had more resistance in them. They're louder with less resistance. So, I like hot pickups, something like 12k. What a load of shite. You doesn't make the ohm ratings don't tell you what the pickup sounds like. You know, hot pickup. So DiMarzio Super Distortions are pretty hot, coming in at 8k. You do get ones. I had one called a Mighty Mite Mother Bucker at one point, which was 22k for a humbucker. But it doesn't. What the thing about the 22k one, which I've noticed before when I'm doing the cascading switch. You're sitting there and you're running through your meter, and then it stops working, and it's because once you get above, I said at the start, you select 20k. Well, if your pickup is 22k, this doesn't respond to it. You have to put it up to 200k and it'll give you the thing. It goes up to 20 for some reason, so if it's more than 20 it just shows as an error. Yeah, so but there you go, hot pickups. So I'll be interested to see how when I stick the two videos of when the guitar's actually playing with the old pickups and the new pickups. Obviously the pots will have made a difference as well. Not that I think pots make a huge difference, but there was something not right with that the volume pot that was in it. There was something, it wasn't going completely off, which was wrong. Anyhow, rocking. I shall see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed that. 2 hours of doing a 10-minute job when you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So just think about how long it takes to wire guitars. It's worth learning to do it, but that's why it's expensive. I mean, that's why it costs you £100 to get a switch change in a guitar. I need to look up that guy who's selling a BC Rich Mockingbird, and he had a bill on it for all the things that he got done, and it was £27 to change this switch. Whoever it was on the receipt, £27 to change the switch and £11 for the switch, just to change one switch. So that's why this does, because they've obviously got to look at it. If you're trying to run a business or trying to run a shop, and then suddenly instead of the guitar taking, all right, okay, solder on a couple of wires, 15 minutes, okay, 20 quid, and then it takes 2.5 hours. From somebody who's like me, who's able to work their way around problems rather than going, oh, doesn't fit, that's it, next. You just get a phone call saying, pickups don't fit. But we're still charging you half the money for taking it to bits. Don't know. Rock on.